Welcome back to News Geelong. The purple pipes of Bown water are on the move at Mount Dunedin, with a new water tank being installed to service Armstrong Creek with recycled water. Meryl Friend reports.
We're here at Mount Dunedin, where the $4.4 million Bowen water recycle tank is going to take water from Black Rock and help to distribute through the new Armstrong Creek region. We were able to speak to the Victorian Water Minister, Pt2, and also the Chairman of Bowen Water, Michael King. We've had a tour of the $4.4 million recycle tank here at Mount Dunedin.
It is a very big tank, Meryl. It is very big. So, principally a buffer storage, but it pressurises the recycled water for the whole development in the future. So pumped up here, obviously, but then is delivered under natural pressure because it's up here on the hill. So a good engineering outcome, a very big tank, obviously. But I suppose the key issue is recycling water, something we've talked a lot about as a government. I've talked a lot about as the water minister, that with the drought, everyone now realises how precious water is, and I think there's been a cultural change in all Victorians as to how we use water and the willingness to use recycled water for non-drinking purposes.
And this area around Armstrong Creek is just going to boom in growth?
Over time it will, and obviously the whole area will be purple pipe. And if you look at other areas that have been purple pipe, both in Melbourne and interstate, they have the ability to keep their garden going when there's potentially water restrictions in a future drought. So, and takes pressure off the potable system. Water restrictions are less likely, but if they do happen, they keep their garden going.
At what stage is the time frame for the completion here?
So the actual physical finishing of the tank is in another couple of months' time, but then obviously a lot more work to be done before it's actually commissioned early next year.
We're taking an environmental leadership role within the region. This is just part of it with our recycled water, and it's just a mammoth project, as you can see.
And this is certainly not for drinking purposes?
No, it's not. It's clearly it's part of the recycled juice, and it's something the community demanded, in fact, for our customer perception community, so we've delivered on that focus that the community has been asking of us.
Well, Bowen Water is at the forefront in consulting what the community wants, aren't they?
Look, it is, and we have a leadership lunch we'll be going to from here, and part of that is part of our Water Plan 3 process. There's certainly, we're coming out of a very high capital growth phase into very much a belt-tightening exercise, and we're very aware of affordability issues, and part of the leadership lunch today is to engage with the community as part of the process, and that's what we're doing.
From Mount Dunedin, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. After a couple of frustrating years of adverse weather, the Torquay Motor Show was in full swing, with News Geelong's Ian Sterling Moss Nichols well and truly in the driver's seat. Take it away, Nico.
Well, here we are at the Torquay Motor Show 2012. It's happening after 2 years of disappointment, and here I am in a Ferrari. Feel a bit like Tom Selleck, but look nothing like Magnum PI, I'm afraid. We're going to have a look around here, and we're going to talk to some of the celebrities here, including the president of the Torquay Rotary Club, in Rob Harris.
We finally got one off the ground. There's a lot of work goes into an event such as this, and it's very disappointing to have to cancel an event, which we've done for the last two. We've changed the date from November. We're running the event on the long weekend, or the Melbourne Cup weekend in November. But we thought, no, we can't keep doing this, so we've changed it to February. This morning, yeah, a little bit nervous. There's a few rain showers around, but now the day's turned out absolutely magnificent. So it's a credit to everybody that's turned up. There's some fantastic cars here. We've got 26 categories, and the colour and the atmosphere is just sensational. We're really, really pleased.
Well, you've said there is something for everybody here, and we hope that everybody turns out to be in excess of 4,000, because that's your record-breaking crowd so far, isn't it?
That's correct. The last successful event that we ran, we had just under 4,000 people. That's competitors and public that came through the gates, and if we can get that again, we'll be very, very pleased.
Well, one of the highlights for me, because I got behind the wheel of a 2009 Ferrari, owner Leighton Kidman hasn't come very far, just tootled down the road from Torquay.
About 2 kilometres.
Well, you don't want to be clocking up too many Ks in a car that's in absolute pristine condition.
4,000 Ks in 2 years is not a lot, but you really tend to only want to take it out on a good day.
You're not a little old lady going to the shopping centre. I'll give you that credit anyway.
Thank you for that. Thanks.
Now, what possessed you to go for this mark of car?
The California is the first hardtop convertible Ferrari have made, and just the fact of having a convertible is a much more usable car, and you enjoy those balmy days on the Great Ocean Road.
Exactly. And what a pleasure to see the motor show up and running in beautiful sunshine after 2 years of disappointment.
Yeah, being washed out, because I'd looked forward to coming last year and that didn't happen, and we're here this year, so it's good.
At the Torquay Motor Show 2012, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian, and congratulations to Leighton Kidman for taking out the Best in Class and Best in Show awards with his magnificent 2009 Ferrari. The Geelong Bee Force for 2012 was launched this week in conjunction with local beekeepers. Bee Force is run by the Pollination Program, a research and development strategy against the risk of entry of the Varroa mite. Meryl Friend has more.
We're in Corio at the Shell Buffer Zone for the launch of the Geelong Bee Force. We were able to speak with Agricultural Minister Peter Walsh about a sticky mat program to help protect our honey and pollination industries.
So the Bee Force program is a program run by the Department of Primary Industries. It's funded by Rural Research and Development Corporation, RUDI, where beehives are given to recreational beekeepers around the ports. We launched the similar program around the Melbourne port last year, so this is stage 2, the Geelong port. So there is 10 hives being provided to beekeepers in the vicinity of the port, and they're there as sentinel hives. So in the bottom of the hive is a sticky mat that's put there, so that if there is Varroa mite in particular comes in on ships, on containers, these hives will actually be contaminated with Varroa mite. The droppings will determine that the Varroa mite is in the hive, because the sticky pads are taken out and taken back to be analysed every 6 weeks, and then that hive would be destroyed because it has Varroa mite, but it would actually save it getting for a larger incursion into Australia.
So we're stopping the pest contaminating the much needed honey.
The simple message is sentinel hives, if there is an incursion of Varroa mite, it's picked up in these hives, the hives are destroyed, and we don't have Varroa mite here in Australia, which would absolutely decimate our bee industry. And the key message with the bee industry, it's not just about honey, it is actually about the pollination services that it provides to a whole range of food crops. So most of our tree fruit crops, bees are taken there to pollinate. A lot of our seed crops are done the same. So if you take the almond industry in northern Victoria, they need in excess of 100,000 beehives every year to be trucked in to actually do the pollination service when the almonds are flowering.
From Corio, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. As we go to a break, we'll return with sport and weather here on our Friday edition of News Geelong.